In this week's Lifestyles Report, we'll speak to the folks at a local dog show on what it takes to compete. That's coming up next on Beartooth NBC. Those blueprints also include the construction of a new street, Queen Anne's Road, which will connect Custer Avenue to Washington Street. Attardo says in the summer of 2012, the building was dug up and raised on timbers to prepare it for the move, which is planned for this spring. Technologists here at the Sleep Center say they perform up to 12 sleep studies a week, and the patients are monitored throughout the night. Stories of survival began to surface days after the disaster, including that of a camper named Patricia Armstrong. Dove says the fear of needles typically comes from people's past experiences with the hypodermic needle used for shots, but she says the ones used for acupuncture are smaller. Jim Gunderson says seconds matter when creating glass Christmas tree ornaments.
There's an old saying, hot glass is always moving. You just have a few seconds while the heat's in that glass to get the ball the way you want it.
Gunderson runs Goose Bay hand-blown glass along with his wife Terry Gunderson. Every holiday season they make as many as 400 ornaments, a process that starts with liquid heated glass.
The glass lives in the furnace at 2,000 degrees. That's where you take your first gather of glass from. Add your color. The colors are twisted and dragged and manipulated different ways.
The glass is then reheated and blown into a ball. A loop is added right before it goes back into yet another oven.
Cover up the little opening that's on the ornament, and then quick snip it off and bend it over while it's really, really hot.
And then when you're all done with your piece, it goes into the annealing oven, which sits at 950 degrees. And then a computer takes over overnight. Everything takes all night to cool.
And even though glass blowing involves working with high heat, Jim says he's used to it.
If you're doing it right, you don't need gloves.
The Gundersons say it takes 20 minutes to create an ornament that's ready to adorn a tree.
They are unique, handmade, and you can't find them in very many places.
Right from the first bubble, both of us were just hooked.
The Gundersons have been working with glass for more than 10 years, but to this day, they say they still love every second. Luba Solonenko, Beartooth NBC. Super One Foods is months away from completion, but employees at the Helena Job Service say the business has the largest number of job openings in the area. The store will be hiring at least 100 people.
There's 14 job categories that we currently have posted with our office. Those range from anywhere between deli clerks, bakery, cashiers, meat cutters, bookkeepers, produce.
Starting on April 8th, the store will be hiring through the Helena Job Service.
The goal is they'd like to get all their hiring accomplished through their posting with our office and through the interviews and screenings. Most of the positions will be part-time. However, those, I believe, over 30 hours a week will be eligible for insurance benefits.
According to blueprints at the Lewis and Clark County City Building Division, the store is going to be more than 66,000 square feet. Those blueprints also include the construction of a new street, Queen Anne's Road, which will connect Custer Avenue to Washington Street and provide access to the store.
Anytime infrastructure gets built, that's good. It provides access to not only that lot, but will provide access to other commercial lots.
Chenard says the store opening is planned for June. Luba Solonenko, Beartooth NBC. As AT&T workers climbed 75 feet up a cell phone tower on Euclid Avenue to reach an osprey nest on Wednesday, students at Kessler Elementary School watched with binoculars from across the street.
I saw people taking out the twine and other people climbing up to help.
The workers were removing twine and other bits of material that may harm the osprey. Second grade teacher Amy Johnson says in March her class wrote letters with the goal of protecting the birds.
And so we decided, since we were studying persuasive writing, that we thought it would be a good project to write letters to the phone company.
Please help the osprey. I wrote that it's very urgent that you need to get this twine out so when the birds come back in April, they don't get hurt or something.
Osprey collect twine for their nest, but can get injured if they get tangled in the material. After the students wrote their letters, workers at Montana Wild tracked down the company that owns the tower and notified them of the twine and the students' letters. The company responded by sending a team to remove the twine.
The birds are awesome.
Workers at Montana Wild say the osprey are expected to migrate back to the nest in a matter of days. Caring about the well-being of local wildlife is what makes these kids a class act. Luba Solonenko, Beartooth NBC. 15-year-old Maggie White will be studying ballet at the Juilliard School's Summer Dance Intensive program in New York this summer.
My mom brought the letter to school, and I cried in the hallway because I didn't know how else to react. It was pretty exciting.
I'm not exactly surprised. She has a tremendous amount of potential and talent.
Maggie was chosen as one of 44 students worldwide for the program, but getting to this point didn't come without sacrifice.
I don't get a lot of free time. I'm here 2 hours at least 5 to 6 days a week. Sometimes it's hard and you get tired, but then you just remember that you love it.
I love to watch her dance. The fluidity, the strength, the flexibility.
The result of 13 years of training.
I turn very well, so I can do like pirouettes and flettes, which are just turns.
I believe that Maggie would like to eventually pursue a career as a professional ballet dancer.
But until then, she's preparing for the role of Lilac Fairy in a ballet version of Sleeping Beauty. Luba Solonenko, Beartooth NBC. Jill, the volunteers are making the most of the drive. This weekend, they will be accepting more than plastic and aluminum. Jill, I spoke to the mother and son team who run Piccolo's music, and it looks like the talent runs in the family. Jill, Emily Griffiths has been ice skating for 9 years, and she has no plans of slowing down.